Assembly will hear a statement by His Excellency Zoran Zaev, President of the Government of the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. May I request protocol to escort His Excellency. I have great pleasure in welcoming His Excellency Zoran Zaev, President of the Government of the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, and I invite him to address the General Assembly.
Господине генерален секретар, господине председател, дами и господа, почитувани екселенции, драги колеги. Имам чест да се обратам на овој важен форум и да ги споделам со вас ставовите на Република Македонија во однос на најважните прашања на агендата на Обединетите нации. Уверен сум дека имаме истата цел – мир во светот. Уверен сум дека ги делиме истите заложби – пристоен живот за сите во одржлива животна средина. Уверен сум дека на заедничките предизвици ќе одговориме со заеднички решенија. Мирот, заложбата за пристоен живот и заедничките решенија се вредностите преку кои Република Македонија успеа да надмине длабока политичка криза, која дури го брануваше и нашиот регион. Ние сме мала земја, полна со различности. Минавме низ тешки искушенија, бидејќи се обединивме околу заедничките вредности. Затоа Република Македонија денес е слободна, безбедна и стабилна. Република Македонија е пријател со своите соседи и цврсто ориентирана кон целосна интеграција во НАТО и Европската Унија. As head of the delegation of the Republic of Macedonia, I want to congratulate His Excellency Miroslav Lajčák of the Slovak Republic on his election to the prestigious position of President of the 72nd session of the United Nations General Assembly. I would also like to express our full support to General Secretary Guterres. We wish him much success in carrying through his comprehensive and ambitious, but very much needed agenda for transformation and adjustment of the United Nations to the demanding task and our common existing and emerging challenges. United Nations must continue to do more and better to meet those challenges and stand the test of time. We must be vigilant and sustained, but also provide innovative and adaptable conflict prevention, sustainable development and management reform mechanisms, while building on the foundation ensuring in the United Nations Charter and other core documents. Mr. President, the world is plagued by severe humanitarian crisis, protracted and new conflicts, intensification of terrorist attacks and violent extremism, human rights abuses and increasing climate change effects. Different in scope and weight, those challenges become more complex. They require a wide-ranging response. While we were able to mitigate the consequences for some, other remains unabated. Just a few weeks ago, we witnessed devastating natural disasters in the Mexican Gulf and South Asia. This is a harsh reminder that our planet is altering, and we all have an obligation to do our best to mitigate and hopefully even revert the consequences. We can progress if we are united. Mr. President, promotion and protection of human rights, democracy, and the rule of law must remain at the core of our action. Despite the fact that the United Nations has a robust human rights architecture, the current blatant human rights violations around the globe, widespread impunity and lack of accountability remind us that there is much to be done. Monstrous terrorist attacks have increased. Our actions must focus on prevention of violent extremism and radicalization as major factors for terrorist recruitments. The establishment of the new structure of the United Nations Office for Countering Terrorism, where one of the priority areas is prevention, was a welcome step. On our part, we also work on a national strategy on the prevention of violent extremism and radicalization. I am aware that there are different approaches to these crucial issues, as we have divergent views of many others. However, I would like to urge you not to focus on our differences, but on our primary responsibilities to act robustly for the common benefit. The proliferation of weapons of mass destruction and their means of delivery continues to jeopardize global security. The implementation of the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1540 is key to minimize possible disastrous consequences for the generations to come. In that regard, let me underline that we are deeply alarmed by the continued unilateral actions of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. They conduct nuclear tests and missile launches despite the repeated calls by the international community to fully comply with the relevant United Nations Security Council resolutions. We believe that peaceful denuclearization of the Korea Peninsula is a viable avenue and therefore urge the Democratic People's Republic of Korea to immediately abandon its nuclear and missile programs and to sign and ratify the Comprehensive Nuclear Ban Treaty. Mr. President, let me briefly comment on the main theme of the 72nd United Nations General Assembly debate, focusing on people, striving for peace and decent life for all on sustainable planet. States must remain focused on the implementation of the new Sustainable Development Agenda we agreed at the 70th anniversary of our organization. This remarkable undertaking laid the foundations for future development framework. This had implications of many other important areas of common concern. Many vital issues for global prosperity are related to its implementation. Therefore, it is important to continue to encourage and build new avenues of cooperation and new partnerships among us. This is central for the integration of the economic, environmental, and social dimension of sustainability. This is the fundamentals for the development, a hopeful future, and our peace, stability, and security. On national level, our efforts to transfer into practice agreed goals are included in the new program entitled Partnership for Sustainable Development, United Nations Strategy 2016-2020. Allow me to refer to the last year important summit on the issue of large movements of refugees and migrants. This is a global phenomenon caused by different reasons with diverse implications. The United Nations adopted a comprehensive political declaration and pledged to intensify international cooperation, in particular among the countries of origin or nationality, transit and destinations. The Republic of Macedonia supports and takes part in the ongoing consultation processes on the two compacts, refugees and migrants. We expect an outcome that will address all aspects of the global phenomena. Let me remind you that the last couple of years, hundreds of thousands of migrants transited through my country and the region. Even though we faced complex challenges at that time, we managed to provide humanitarian assistance to the people in need. Dear colleagues, As we have to adapt globally, we must also do homework and act as responsible governments to secure and provide better future and prosperity to our people. The government of the Republic of Macedonia confirms its dedication to fundamental democratic values, good governance, rule of law, and the respect of human rights. We overcome a deep political crisis and institutional crisis through our resolute stand in defense of these fundamentals. Our understanding is that democracy needs to be driven by civic engagement from bottom up. Societies are better off when decision-making is a comprehensive, inclusive, and transparent. Public policies need to work for citizens' well-being. My government has laid out an ambitious reform plans with short, medium, and long-term measures. Our goal is to restore democracy, build professional and independent institutions, and improve the standards of living for each citizen. Our aim is to expedite the integration of Republic of Macedonia into European Union and NATO. From the depths of the political crisis, we emerged stronger and we were able to contribute to regional stability and regional cooperation. Those of you that know Balkan history know that our region was not always labeled positively. I strongly believe that we have a new chance to make a change, not only in perceptions, but in substance. Over the past few months, the government of Republic of Macedonia has strongly promoted a new approach to our neighbors. We demonstrated capacity to overcome open issues. We articulated and acted on our national interest. At the same time, we were fully aware and respectful of the national interest of our neighbors. Our policy is based on solving issues through dialogue and cooperation. We hope that it can inspire others and incite new approach to bilateral relations in our region. As a positive step forward, let me underscore the signing of a bilateral agreement on friendship, good neighbor lines and cooperations with Bulgaria. This is a joint success of the two countries. This General Assembly is the 25th participation of the Republic of Macedonia as an independent state. Next year, we will be marking a quarter of century of our United Nations membership. However, this anniversary is also marked with the dispute over how my country should be referred to. This dispute has unilateral consequences to our development and perspectives. The interim agreement of 1995 laid the foundations to normalize relations between Macedonia and Greece. At present, the two countries are implementing confidence-building measures. This is a very positive development. We have a fresh impetus to overcome the long-standing bilateral dispute. I would say we both made certain mistakes at different times, but the main goal now is to close the issue. I firmly believe that we must catch the momentum, discuss in bona fide, and resolve the issue for our shared future. We highly value the continued efforts of the personal envoy of the United Nations Secretary General His Excellency, Mr. Matthew Nimitz, and the good offices he provides to that end. I firmly believe that there is a way to overcome the problem that Greece has with our constitutional name. For a change, let us try to approach it from a positive point of view. Maintaining good neighborly and friendly relations is a two-way avenue. We are committed to do our job and expect the same of our neighbors. This message was already clearly sent to our friends and partners. I would like to reaffirm it here from the podium, where all of us are recalling the Universal Charter's principles and goals. Mr. President, the world can be a very noisy place, but the most important things in the world can be very quiet. I believe that if we listen to our people, then we can hear the world. In conclusion, I want to underline that the Republic of Macedonia remains a staunch supporter of multilateralism. We will continue to work with you and with all United Nations member states to jointly reinforcing world peace and security, on promoting human rights, on achieving the sustainable development goals, and on all other issues that are crucial for the people we represent. I thank you.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I wish to thank the President of the Government of the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia,